So if you're one of those people who's always on the move, traveling, living between countries, just living a fast-paced life, you know your finances have to keep up. But what happens when they just can't? Well, today we're going to dive into the tools that are finally fixing global payments for people who live without any borders.
And that, right there, just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That piece of plastic in your wallet, the one that works perfectly fine when you're at home, can suddenly become a total liability the second your plane touches down somewhere new. No, really, it's a huge question. When your entire lifestyle is borderless, but your bank is stuck in the last century, what are you supposed to do? How do you actually maintain your financial freedom?
And this, right here, is the fundamental problem we're going to talk about. We are seeing this massive, global shift in how people work and live their lives. But the financial system that's supposed to support them, it just hasn't caught up, not even close.
And look, we're not talking about some tiny niche group of people here. We're talking about millions of digital nomads, remote founders, creators, you name it. This is the new global workforce, and what they need is completely different from the old 9-to-5 model that traditional banking was built for.
Okay, so let's really dig into this. Why exactly does your good old bank account turn into such a massive headache when you're on the move? Well, it pretty much boils down to a few incredibly frustrating realities.
You've been there, right? You're just trying to pay for a coffee in a new city. Boom, card declined. Why? Because the bank's fraud algorithm, which is designed for someone who stays in one place, flags your totally legitimate purchase as suspicious. Or, and this is so much worse, they freezed your entire card, just like that. So now you're stranded, no access to your own money, all because you had the audacity to use your card in a different country.
Oh, and this one? This is the classic catch-22, the one that drives global citizens crazy. They ask for a utility bill for an apartment you don't have in a country you might only be in for a couple of months. It's like hitting a bureaucratic brick wall.
And you know, sometimes it's not even that complicated. You just need some help from customer support. But guess what? They're closed. Your financial lifeline is on a 9-to-5 schedule that has absolutely zero connection to your reality.
You know, the source material puts it perfectly. When your ability to pay for things breaks down, it is not a minor inconvenience. It's a critical failure that can leave you in a genuinely tough spot. It's not about convenience, it's about survival.
All right, I know that was a lot of doom and gloom, but don't worry, there's some really good news here. There is a solution that was literally purpose-built for this borderless world. So let's talk about crypto cards.
And this comparison, it just lays it all out crystal clear. The old way of doing things means friction, it means freezes, it means endless restrictions. This new system, it's built on the exact opposite principles. Truly borderless payments, you having full control of your funds, and global access, period. Okay, so let's break down what this actually means for you. The magic of these cards is that you really get the best of both worlds. You can pay anywhere that takes Visa or MasterCard, so basically everywhere. Your crypto gets converted to the local currency right at the moment you pay. And most importantly, all those problems we just spent time talking about, the blocks, the restrictions, the lack of control, they just vanish.
Okay, but here's a super important point. While crypto cards are definitely the solution, they are not all created equal, not by a long shot. Some are really designed for traders sitting at a desk, not for travelers who are actually out in the world. So you've got to know what to look for.
Generally speaking, you're going to see about 3 main types of these cards out there. First, you've got the exchange-based cards, which are often tied to one specific platform and can have the same old geographic restrictions you're trying to get away from. Then you have white label cards, which is really the behind-the-scenes tech. But for a traveler, that middle category, the fintech crypto cards, that's where the real exciting innovation for global payments is happening.
So, think of this as your must-have checklist. Seriously, if a card doesn't tick these boxes, it's probably not a real travel solution. It absolutely has to work worldwide, it needs to sync up with your phone for easy payments, and it's got to have a flexible sign-up process that doesn't demand that impossible proof of residence. This is your cheat sheet for finding the right tool for the job. Okay, theory is great, but let's make this real. Let's take a look at how the source material uses a real-world product to show how these features actually work. This is awesome because you can see exactly how an example like Pintopay stacks up against our checklist. Does it work worldwide? Check, over 150 countries. Is it mobile ready? Yep, Apple and Google Pay. How about that flexible onboarding for nomads? Check, zero border friction. This is what a card that's actually built for a global lifestyle looks like in practice. At the end of the day, though, this isn't just about some cool new tech. It's really about what that technology makes possible. It represents a fundamental shift toward real financial freedom for this new generation of global citizens.
And this is a really important point to get. We're not talking about some far-off futuristic idea. For the millions of people whose lives and work cross borders every single day, this is the solution that's working for them right now, today.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? What's the new normal? It's that the standard has completely changed. You can travel lighter without that constant anxiety of carrying a bunch of cards that might just fail you. You can pay smarter using a system that's actually designed for your life. And you can finally, truly live globally with your money keeping pace with your dreams.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. When all that financial friction is just gone, and you have a tool that works in a cafe in Bali just as easily as it does at an airport in Dubai, what new possibilities open up for you? What does that freedom really, truly look like?